Here we are with another plugin idea. Substitute inventory. Entire inventories can be swapped in or out with a plugin command. And the idea behind this is a lot of the time in certain games, if you flip between multiple parties, you maybe don't want everything in one party's inventory to be in the second party's. So yeah, think of if you've ever played Breath of Fire 4, the game switches between one main party and then one side party. And yeah, the idea is that you don't want the inventories to be shared, so that's the whole point. And so I've got some template code here that's just a little bit of a starter. So I'm gonna just start ripping some code that will be used somewhere. Where is the command? And then an argument. Yep, all good. This command is going to be swap inventory make the given inventory set the active inventory. You know what? There we go. Set the active inventory. So we are going to pass in some text. I think this will be oh, maybe it could, maybe a number is better actually. Inventory ID is what we're looking at here. No max, no min. And default, we'll say default is 0. We'll make default, we'll make -1 can be the default. Um, is the default inventory. Okay, let's see. Set active inventory. Yeah, again, this is probably going to be a pretty quick plugin. Inventory ID. We'll just rip inventory ID. Or default to -1. I don't think there's anything else that we care about. So let's add in var substitute inventory equals substitute inventory or a blank object. Inventory array. You know what? Inventories or data, maybe. We'll say data. Pop it in there. So we need a way of initializing an ID. Initialize inventory. I'm we're going to pass in some kind of inventory ID, and we will say const keys equals data, but we want to get the keys from this. If keys includes inventory ID, then we will have to initialize it. Now I just went over something in a different video where if you use a number as a key, it turns it into a string. So we may need to say if the key includes a string version of the ID, then we'll do that. Okay, so that initializes it. So let's say substitute inventory. Substitute inventory. We're just going to call it the same name and give it some kind of ID, but we also probably want to pass in some data, inventory data. So we will first call initialize inventory, passing in the ID. And then we'll have to maybe set the data. This is maybe more than we need as well. So no, substitute inventory should probably do the setting of data itself. So we can say substitute inventory dot data inventory ID equals inventory data. We maybe don't even need this. Maybe don't even need that. So we are saying the active inventory. Let's have some record of what the active one is. Substitute inventory. Active inventory ID equals -1. So when we set the active inventory, we want to say save the currently active inventory. So we'll say substitute inventory. Maybe it should just be something like save and load. Maybe that's clearer. We'll do save. So save, and then we pass in inventory ID, and then we want to pass in how do we get the inventory? It's going to be something like gameParty dot dot items. It's maybe this. I maybe need to save a copy of all three of these. Yeah. Okay, so I need to save all three of these separately, it looks like. Dot inventory ID items equals that. Weapons equals that. Armors. Items, weapons, armors. So we are going to say inventory data dot items, weapons, armors, we will just make it a new object, and we will create items, weapons, and armor from this, and make load inventory ID. Okay, so let's say const inventory data equals a new object. And I wonder if I can manipulate this const because I'm not changing the object, I'm just changing the contents of the object. So maybe I can use const for this. Inventory data dot items equals gameParty dot items. I think that's what we were looking at. Yeah, gameParty dot items. And then same thing, weapons, armors, so we save that and then load the new inventory. So we don't save this, we save the previously active previous inventory ID. That's right? That's the proper logic. Whatever is the currently active ID, we will grab that, get the contents of the game party's inventory, save that under the previously active one, and then we load the new inventory, which is inventory ID const loaded inventory data equals maybe this should just go in here. If I just do load and then inventory ID, maybe even this should be inside save. So here we say save, and we don't have the inventory data. We're going to create the inventory data. So we're just saving with an ID. Get the previously active ID, make the inventory data, clear out whatever was saved here before, and then add in the items from the... Really, we can just do this. We can just shorthand and make the code a lot shorter. Or, well, not shorthand, just, yeah, just cut out a few lines. So we are saving previous, so I don't think we need this line. And then when we load, we are going to get the inventory data. So let's say equals substitute inventory data inventory ID. If it's nothing, we will have to set the game party if there's no data, we are just going to erase, well, we're just going to initialize it again, I suppose. But if there is data, then we will do the same thing, but make it equal to the data. Inventory. Okay, so I'm gonna have one chest here, and it's gonna give me some low-level items and weapons. And then we're gonna have another one, but this is gonna be a really good one, and it gives us good stuff. And this person will change our equipment for one type of inventory, and this one I'll swap it back. Substitute inventory. Okay, now it's added. Now we need to run a plugin command. Set active inventory. Oh, you're not allowed minuses unless you do text. Okay, -1. I guess I should just do 0. So what should happen here? If I click here, yeah, should be nothing. Click here, should be nothing. I'm going to put in a little check that says if the active inventory ID is equal to the inventory ID, then return. Because we shouldn't be trying to save and load the same inventory. The only thing is, if one of these ends up turning into a string at some point, we've not turned it into a number properly or something. Alright, so let's see. We get the crappy items, okay? We still got the crappy items. Good, good. Still got the crappy items. So let's talk to this person. We still have the crappy items. We need to do some more logging. Let's see. Inventory ID, what's coming in? And what is the active one? And also, are they equal? Console.log saving. Just do the same thing, but for load. Let's just see if the code's actually running. No. So it doesn't even do this. Set active inventory. And it's the same problem I had before. Substitute inventory. So I didn't spell the file correctly. Substitute. Yep. Update the thing here. Substitute. There we go. Okay, we're gonna do something now. Doesn't look like it. Oh, hold on. Maybe these are trying to run the old one. Yeah, substitute. So now we need to run the correct one. And make that 0. Okay, here we go. Okay, good stuff. So previous active inventory ID. Yeah, this is just nothing. So we save the active ID. Zero minus one. So 0 is what was passed in, right? Yep, 0 was passed in. The previous one was -1, and they're not the same, so then it saves and then it loads. At the moment there was no items to save and load, but we will load the good items and say we have the good items in the second inventory. So they are the same, so it won't try and do anything. We should still have them, yep. Now let's get this, saving, loading. We have no items, awesome. Let's go back. Oh, some funkiness. Okay, what is this all about then? So I guess you can't just replace it like this. Oh, yeah, this is just returning keys. This underscore, okay, so this is probably wrong. We probably want that. I guess I'll just try running this and just see if that fixes it or if there's something else we need to do. So let's get some rubbish items. Talk to this person. Okay, let's get some good items. Talk to you. Alright, that was maybe it. That was maybe the problem. So we are on the regular inventory with this lady. Now we want to swap to the good one. Elixir, Dragon Blade. Now we want to swap back. Okay, cool. Looks like it's working anyway. So let's go again. We'll have another one down here. Inventory 1. So we grab some items, swap to you. Nothing. Grab some dragon stuff. Now let's talk to you. Nothing. Talk to you and get the common items back. Yep. Talk to you and get the good stuff back. Brilliant. Now let's do a bit of cleanup. Get rid of the console logs. You know, there's no sort of object code or anything being manipulated here. We do want to do save and load though. That's an important part. So I think it's something extract, save contents, yep, and make save contents. These are the two we will need. So now I will do data manager. Okay, and then const no sub inv data manager dot make save contents equals. Alright, so we'll just go underneath and we'll say we want to run what is already here. So we call that and we pass in this, but it returns contents. So we need to say const contents equals that. And then it's up to us to manipulate it. So we'll say something like contents dot substitute inventories equals that dot data, because we don't want to save the save and load methods, we just want to save the data. And also active inventory ID. So substitute inventories active inventory ID, or we can maybe just get rid of that and do active inventory ID equals this dot active inventory ID. So this is us making the save contents. We should probably just run that, make sure it works. Okay. So it's not liking something. Did I screw up this somewhere? Make save content. Let's comment this out just to make absolute sure that it is that's it's not happy with. Yeah, it looks like it. Interesting. Subinv, data manager. Substitute inventory dot data. Active inventory ID. Oh, we need to remember to return contents because the original returns contents at the end. We need to remember to return contents. That's an easy one to forget. Okay, so we'll grab some items, swap the inventory, grab some items, save. Okay, it allowed us to save this time. Now we get the extract save contents. Subinv data manager extract save contents. Alright, so this one does it the other way around. So we want to call the extract save contents, but we pass in this and also contents. And we don't have to return anything this time. We just have to do substitute inventory dot active ID is equal to whatever we saved it as, contents dot active inventory ID, and the data is equal to contents dot substitute inventory contents dot substitute inventories. So this should be it. Let's just have a look. More problems. Contents dot contents. Lovely. Okay, let's us do it. So we start off with the good items, and if we talk to this person, we should have nothing. And if we talk to this person, we should have the bad items again. Yep. Great. So saving and loading is working. Yeah, that's a nice one, and that means you can set up parts of your game where you swap out the party entirely, and you don't need to worry about having to figure out some way of remembering what items the first party had and swapping it around and things. So yeah, hopefully someone gets use of this. If you liked it, give me a like and subscribe if you want. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.